Get ready to be jolted out of the ordinary and into a world where conversations are charged with intensity and facts. The Lightning Strike Talk Radio with your host, Mohammed Fahim, broadcasting live from the heart of the city on Chicago's Progressive Talk Radio, WCPT 820 AM. Welcome to a radio show that charges through the airwaves with an electricity like no other. Here's your host, Mohammed Fahim.
Good morning, folks. Coming live to you on the Lightning Strike Sunday morning, and I've got a full program scheduled for you today. We have also got our co-host, Read Bible, Dr. Sheila White, Mac Pitino, and joining us from today on our team is Chris Hilbert also. But I wanted to take a look this morning, folks, at the hidden cost, the economic cost of the Iran war. What is our president doing? He's also now threatening the Canadian Prime Minister with a phone call, 14-minute phone call, asking him to resign. So this guy is really lost it, folks. He's nuts. So while the world watches the explosions, the missiles, and the political theater surrounding the war with Iran, another battle is quietly unfolding. It is not being fought with drones or fighter jets. It's being fought in oil markets, shipping lanes, food prices, and family budgets across the world. The economic shockwaves from this conflict, folks, are already being felt from the Persian Gulf to the gas pump in America. I don't know if you have recently gone up to get some gas, but let us start with the most critical artery in the global economy now. That is the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow stretch of water between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. By the way, it is pronounced as Iran, not Iran. Okay, it's like with an E, even though it's written with an I. When that choke point, folks, the Strait of Hormuz is threatened, the entire global economy holds its breath. And today, tanker traffic has slowed dramatically. Insurance premiums for shippings have soared. Some producers have already cut output. Oil prices have surged past $90 a barrel, pushing gasoline prices higher almost immediately. And here is the reality many Americans are only beginning to understand now, okay? Wars in the Middle East, folks, are not just geopolitical events. They are inflation events. When oil prices rise, everything rises. Transportation costs rise, food prices rise, manufacturing costs rise. The World Bank has warned that a severe disruption in Middle Eastern energy supplies could push oil prices toward $150 a barrel and shave trillions of global economic output. This guy didn't think anything through, folks. He just listened to what his master was telling him and just jumped in with both feet. That is not just an energy crisis now when oil is going to hit $150 a barrel. That is a global recession waiting to happen. And the damage is already spreading beyond oil now. Air freight costs between Asia and Europe have jumped nearly 45% as regional airspace closes and cargo routes are disrupted. Thousands of flights in the Middle East have been canceled. Supply chains are tightening. Electronics, pharmaceuticals, and industrial components are all caught in the crossfire. And for Europe and Asia, which depend heavily on Middle Eastern energy, the impact could be severe. China, India, Japan, and South Korea import vast quantities of oil from the Gulf. And higher energy means economic growth slows and higher inflation across the global economy. What about the United States, though? Okay, ironically, America now produces more oil than it did during the previous Middle East conflicts. So the U.S. economy may actually see some gains for domestic energy producers when prices rise. But for American families, the effect is simple. Higher gasoline prices, higher food prices, higher heating bills, and more pressure on household budgets. Meanwhile, the Middle East itself faces an even deeper crisis. The war threatens not just oil facilities, folks, but critical infrastructure such as desalination plants that provide drinking water to millions across the Gulf states. Imagine cities in the desert suddenly losing access to water. That is how fragile the region's economic system really is. History teaches us something important about wars in the Middle East. They rarely stay local. The 1973 oil embargo triggered a global recession. The 1990 Gulf War shocked energy markets, and today's conflict carries the potential to disrupt not only energy, but the entire global supply chain. So when we ask about the cost of war, we should look beyond the battlefield, because the real bill is paid in ways that rarely make headlines at the gas pump, at the grocery store, and across a fragile global economy already strained by inflation and geopolitical tension. This is not just a war in the Middle East, folks. It is an economic shock that could reshape the world. And we are only in the early chapters. I have written a Substack post on this also, which I'll be sharing after the show today. So be sure to check out our Substack. Be sure to go to our website, tlsradio.com, to check out on what's happening. So it's about 12 minutes past 8 o'clock, folks. So we'll take a quick break and come back on the other side of the break with our Person of the Week. And Dr. Sheila White would be introducing our Person of the Week today. We'll take a quick break